Morning, everyone. Everybody here except Jeremiah. Daniel here. Solomon. Please be prepare. Later we start with weekly progress presentation. So all the team member need to turn on camera. It will be recorded. We start around 9:10. Right, morning, everyone. Show me your hand if you can hear me clearly. Three students missing. Who are the three students here? Not here yet. Still in the washroom. Shaq Nathan, not here yet. Right, our task this morning. Let me brief you all before start recording. Before your presentation today. Right, this is part of our assignment. So every week, student in the team will rotate in a weekly basis, play a role in as a project manager. So today, student take turn, share with us their company stakeholder, assumption, dependency, constraint, organization, governance, communication plan, and project control. So one group, you have 15 minutes. You don't have to talk too fast. Briefly, but clear, yeah? Slow and steady. The student will be access the content as well, delivery, and the use of visual aids. If no question, then which group, whoever want to present first, I will volunteer. All right, good. Wow, so nice. This group, usually when we ask for doing something volunteer, no response. But this group, everybody say, me, go first. All right, then Kelvin and then Lim. You may start now. If your team member presenting the group member, please do turn on the camera as well.
Oh, me first. Or Jingmin first.
Doesn't matter between you and Lim, both of you.
I let them first.
Alright, so good morning to Miss Lee and my classmate. Today I'll be presenting the software project management assignment for our group. So again, our group consists of Russell, Alvin, and myself.
Sorry,
So
interruption. Where is Elvin? Elvin, your team member.
hold on, yeah, Miss. We try to reach him.
We work as a team. All the members are here, then you present.
Yeah, I think I will let Kelvin go first. Sure,
All right,
Kelvin,
no
after
problem.
you.
Yeah, my name is Kelvin Chakemwe. I'll be presenting this week's for our assignment for the home online store system. So the agenda for this week would be the project background, stakeholders, our assumptions, our dependencies, constraints, organization and governance, our communication plan, and the project plan. First, for our project background, just a brief. The goal of our project is just to improve the customer experience when using the website lah. We do this by improving the web design, and also ensuring the information shown on the website are accurate, and also by fixing the payment system of the website. The next will be the stakeholders. The stakeholders of this project will be the owner of the home mart, and then the customers, which are the users of the online store, where they used to order the fresh vegetables from the store. And also the staff in the marketing department, IT department are also stakeholders in this project. The final stakeholders are the suppliers, of the fresh vegetables, which are mainly Sabahan farmers. And then next are the assumptions for this project. We assume that we have access to all the resource we need to complete the project, both for human resources and the material like the software programs, those things. And then the project members will also have enough time and resource to complete their task on time. Also, we assume that the personnel costs will not change, such as the salary change or some other personnel costs. Also the overall cost of day-to-day operation will not increase, and the scope will not change throughout the life cycle. Like maybe we're doing this project, suddenly they want us to add like a language system, like to help other language besides English, like Malay, add like a Malay translate to Malay or translate to Chinese for the website, those things, which would add more things which we cannot complete within the time and budget provided. And also fourth is the dependencies. The dependencies of our projects are to ensure that the first dependency is that to ensure the website design is good and without fault. We need to ensure that the information shown are correct. So the website design is only considered complete when we verify that all the information presented got no error. And also in the testing phase, the quality assurance team will find and report bugs and allow the development team to fix them. So the testing is only complete when the bug fixes are completed also. And also the project is only completed when the functional payment system is successfully implemented into the new web designer. The fifth is the constraints. The constraints of our project is just the project budget, our timeline, our resources, and the COVID restrictions, and maybe the staff availability when sometimes they got the personal responsibilities, like they need to take vaccine, or they got the family member to take care of emergency, those things. They might they also got their own schedules in their life, so they might delay. We might need to adjust our meeting schedule and work around them. And the sixth is the organization and governance. This is our organizational chart, which has the project manager will be responsible for the team leaders, and then it will project manager will report to the project steering committee and the project sponsor. The project sponsor should be the owner of the hallmark. He approves the project charter and the business case and ensure the project initiated at the right time. And the project manager is just responsible to monitor, ensure all the milestones or objectives are met, and set up communication to ensure everyone is up to date, and also manage the stakeholder based on the scope of the project. And also the steering committee would decide on how the goals are measured and approve the project plan and scope changes. They will also ensure the alignment between the charter and project, so everything on time. And they also determine when and how the deviation from the project or scope will be escalated, and also manage the resource and other interdependencies. And 7 will be the communication plan. First, communication goal is to keep the stakeholder updated on the project status and also keep them mindful of the project benefit, so they continue to advocate so they don't suddenly cancel the project. And then the communication method, we will have the weekly check-ins with the stakeholder through video conferencing. We chose the video conferencing for convenience, also to maintain safety during the COVID pandemic. And also example of the tools we can use for the video conferencing are the Google Meet and the Google Hangout. And in the kickoff meeting, we will introduce the project to stakeholders to confirm our objective and goal for the project. And in the weekly check-in, we just provide update of the status of the project with the stakeholders with more presentations and the to-do lists. The project leader will be responsible for the project manager should be responsible for the communications. And finally, the project plan will be first. We have communication, which would initiate the project, and then we define our requirements, user requirement, content, all these requirements, and then next will be planning, which we will be estimating time and cost for each of the tasks, and also we schedule them. And third, we will be modeling the project. And first, we need to analyze the functionality of the systems and define the risk and the risk management approach and develop project plan. Also brief the web development team. And after that, we'll be designing for the web design and payment system design. After designing, we'll be constructing by coding the web design and then the payment design and testing them. After that, we'll be integrating them together, and then we test the integration. After this is completed, we do the deployment, and then after that, we'll be maintaining the website. Yeah, this is all for the presentation. Is it fast?
All right, good. Next group. The presentation slide, please turn into a practical 2 submission. Yeah, in the Google Classroom, practical 2 submission. Yeah, Lim's group, you might start. Thank you.
Good morning to Miss Lee and my classmates. So today I'll be presenting the software project management assignment for our group. So again, our group consists of Russell, Elvin, and myself. So let's first move on to the project background. I'll briefly recap about the company and the project background. So the project aims toward helping Clinic Kesihatan Loyang, which patient they are to bring their medical folders every following appointment. So the physical medical folder consists of medical history, pharmacy prescription, as well as next appointment date. However, the main problem is that the medical folder can be misplaced, lost, damaged, or patient that is forgetful, whereby they forgot to bring along with them during their medical checkup. So the project goal here is to improve convenience for patients at Klinik Kesehatan Loyang by developing a medical mobile application that allows patients to access and store their medical history. So next, let's move on to project stakeholders. So for the project owner, they are interested in providing more convenient health service to the patients, reducing expenses on paper usage, as well as improving image of Klinik Kesehatan Loyang. So for the patients, they are interested in receiving more convenient health services, which also they don't need to carry or bring a physical medical folder and view their medical records, appointments, dates, and medical prescription through their mobile devices. So the next will be project sponsor. They are interested in supporting the project team and also looking after the interest of shareholders. So next is the project manager. They are interested in completing the project successfully with the provided resources. Next will be mobile application designer. They are more interested in producing user-friendly interfaces as well as creating interesting user experiences. Next will be mobile application developer. They are interested in producing a technical excellent system and also utilizing the latest technologies. Next will be the software tester. They are interested in finding challenges and improve satisfaction of the clients. Also improve the quality of the product and also contributing towards the betterment of the product. So lastly will be the business analyst. They are more interested in specifying the project requirements on time and within budget. So next will be the assumption. So there are four assumptions for our project. So the first assumption is that clinic staff can remotely view and update patients' digital medical focus folders. Second is the previous similar projects were completed within a similar budget and time frame. So thirdly, there are no changes to the requirements or new requirements that are specified. So lastly, is that the mobile application yearly maintenance cost is 20% of the estimated initial development cost. So the next will be the project dependencies. So our project will be conducted using waterfall process model, which you can tell from the table here. Each phase depends on the completion of the previous phase. Once a phase is completed, only then can the next phase begin. So firstly, we go to the requirement analysis, which will taken 2 weeks, and after that go to system design, which will take up to 4 weeks, and then after system design done, followed by implementation and unit testing, which will needs 5 weeks to complete, and after that will be integration and system testing, which will also be 5 weeks, and after that is the deployment, which only takes up 1 week. Lastly, the maintenance, which has the longest phases, which starts from week 18 here until week 257, roughly about 4.6 years. So the next will be the constraint. So there are also several constraints for the project. Firstly, is that the overall budget here for the project is set at 145,000, and the project is to be completed by 2023, and also maximum 8 working hours per day and 6 working days per week as defined by the Malaysian Employment Act 1955. So the next will be organization chart. So from figure 1, we can see that project sponsor has the highest authority, followed by the project manager, and then the other four roles such as mobile application designer, developer, software tester, and also business analyst. who report to the same project manager. So next will be organization roles. So different organization resources are allocated with different roles. So for project sponsor, their role is to provide approval and funding for the software project. So for the project manager, their role is to manage the day-to-day of the project and management of scope, schedule, finance, risk, quality, and resources. Next will be the mobile application designer. They are responsible in designing the overall style and interfaces for the mobile app on Android and iOS platform, and also implementing good UI and UX design principles. So next will be the mobile application developer. They are responsible in producing the fully functional mobile application by writing the code and fixing any bugs or errors, and also perform unit tests. So the next will be software tester. They are responsible in executing tests on the mobile app, testing the software usability, preparing test scenarios, as well as reporting any bugs or errors for the developer to fix. Lastly will be the business analyst. They are responsible in preparing the business requirement document and also clearing the designer and developers' doubts about the requirements, preparing the test case, and also verifying the delivered product is as per requirements. So next will be the communication plan. As we can see that every communication plan shares the same method here, which is by meeting and also owned by the same project manager. Firstly, the kickoff meeting will be conducted in the beginning of the project. The purpose of the meeting is to introduce the project as well as set and manage expectation for the project. So the project sponsor, stakeholders, and also the project team will be involved in the meeting. Next will be the project team meeting and also task progress updates. Both of the activity will be conducted every single day for project meeting. The purpose is to discuss what each team member did the day before for the tasks and obstacles. As well as for task progress updates, the purpose is to share the daily progress of project tasks. So, project team will be involved in both of the activities here. So the next will be project status report. Project status report will be conducted every week uh, to review the project status and discuss the potential issue or delays. So project sponsors, stakeholders, and also the project team will be involved. Next will be the milestone review. Milestone review will be conducted in every project milestones. So the purpose is to review project status as well as present project deliverables, gather feedback, and design next step. Sponsor and project team will be involved in the activity. So lastly is the postmortem meeting, which will be conducted in the end of the project to assess what worked and did not work with the project and discuss takeaways that are actionable. And project sponsor, stakeholders, and project team will be involved as well. Next will be project control. So first we go to scheduling control, which digs into resource workload. According to Malaysian Employment Act 1955, each employment will have 8 maximum working hours per day and maximum of 5 days per week. So as we can see from the table, all of them share the same working hours per day and also working days per week. The only difference is the estimate number of weeks involved. So for the project sponsor and business analyst, the project sponsor, project manager, and also business analyst, they share the same weeks of estimated involved, weeks of involved here, which is the 17 weeks of involved. So for the mobile application designer, the weeks estimated weeks of involved is four weeks, and for the mobile application developer, the estimated weeks is 11, and for the software tester is 5 weeks. So next is the development phase scheduling. The project schedule will up to 257 weeks. The start date is 3rd of January 2022. The end date is 29th of April 2022. After that, the project will enter a long maintenance period until 4th of December 2026. So the next will be the cost control. For cost control, different project will have a different hourly pay rate. So firstly, project sponsor and mobile application designer share the same hourly pay rate, which is 25. And the next is the project manager. The hourly pay rate is 40. Mobile application developer is 20. Software tester 22 ringgit per hour, and also business analyst is 12. So the next will be the estimated total cost and allocated budget for the project. I will just brief about the estimated development cost and also the budget now, which is for the estimated total development cost is about 79,560, and the allocated budget is 70,500. So for the additional cost includes publishing here, and total maintenance costs. Different platform will have different one-time publishing costs, such as for Google Play Store. The publishing cost is 105, and for the Apple App Store is 415, which is more expensive. As for the total maintenance cost, the total maintenance cost will be 79,560. So both of them uh, plus together, which will become 70,080 for the total additional cost. So the allocated budget for the total additional cost is 70,500. Next will be total cost and allocated budget. So the total cost for the project will be uh, 139,640 here, which is the two plus together, and the total allocated budget is 70,500 for the development process, and another 70,500 for the additional cost, which includes maintenance and also publishing costs, which turns out to be 141,000 in total. So the overall budget is set at 145,000. As you all remember from the constraint, the budget here is set at 145,000. So which means after the calculation, we know that the total budget allocated is still within the budget given initially. And yeah, I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Right, well done. Within the time frame, everything are there, all the point are there. Well done. Next group.
So I think my group will go first.
Sure, no problem. Group member. One more group member, Jeremiah. Where is Jeremiah? All right. Yeah, you may start.
Okay, so good morning to Miss and my classmate. My name is Nathan. So today I will be presenting week 3 of the assignment. My group will consist of Jeremiah and Wong. So today I will be presenting the background, project stakeholders, assumption dependency constraint, organization governance communication plan, and project control. So for the background of our project, it is a tuition center. It is called Innovasi Tuition Center. It was established in 2010 which is located in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, Malaysia. It offers a wide range of subjects according to the latest CAT SSM syllabus. It only targets primary and secondary students. So for the business problem of Innovasi Tuition Center, the current tuition center still traditionally record their student personal data on paper filling method, and customers are required to either call them or meet them in person to complete their registration process. And undefined business process in the current system. For example, there is no available cost schedule provided. So for the project stakeholders, there are three types of stakeholders in our project. So we have stakeholders that are internal to the project team, stakeholders that are external to the project team but within the same organization, and stakeholders that are external to both the project team and organization. So for the stakeholders that are internal to the project team, we have senior programmers who are responsible for coding a system, project manager who manages members under the project team, business analysts to analyze the current problem in the system, and software testers for testing each and every module after completion. For stakeholders that are external to the project team, but within the same organization, we have the owner of Innovasi Tuition Center, who will provide the feedback to the project. And staff members, which include tutors and front desk staff who access to the system to perform admin related activities. So for stakeholders that are external to both the project team and organization, we have students who use the system for registration and tuition related stuff, competitors which may influence the modification and new features in the system. So next we'll talk about the assumption, dependency, and constraint. So for the assumption, for the first assumption is the availability of human resource. We assume that the number of developers assigned to this project are enough. And have the required skill and knowledge, and they are freelance based. For the second assumption is the availability of equipment for the developers to complete their tasks. We assume that all the equipment will be in good condition and functionable throughout the development, so there will be no need for new equipment. So for the third assumption, we assume the labor cost will be cheaper due to this COVID-19 pandemic. So next, we'll talk about the dependency of this project. Since we are using the waterfall model, all our tasks will follow the finish to start dependency. All the tasks will be done in sequence from top to bottom, where the second task can only be started when the first task is done. So next, we'll talk about the constraint. The first constraint is the availability of the budget, which with the given budget of 150K, it is just sufficient to cover all the expenses and to complete the project. For the second constraint is the constraint of time, which with the given 11 months period by the owner to finish the project, the 3 hired programmers may encounter work overload. For the third constraint is the constraint of quality. Amending quality expectation may impact the influence on the project timeline, scope, and budget if it doesn't meet the expectation of the stakeholders. For the organization and governance, so in this organization structure, the owner will provide the budget cost to execute this project. Then the project manager will plan the whole project and also allocating time and tasks for the 3 programmers and business analysts and the 2 testers. For the communication plan, so for the kickoff meeting, it will be one-time event before the start of the project through meeting by project manager with the project team and the key stakeholders. For the project team meeting, it will held daily through meeting by the project manager with the project team. For the project status update, it will be held weekly through meeting by the project manager with the project team, which is to update each team project progress. For the project status report, it will be weekly through email by the project manager with the project team and the owner, which is to update their current progress through email. For the stakeholders update, it will be monthly through the email by the project manager with the key stakeholders, which to update the status of the project to the stakeholders monthly. For the budget status update, it will be every 2 weeks through meeting and an email by the project manager and with the project team and the owner, which is to update the budget status, like how much money is being used. So now we'll talk about the project control. So there will be 7 tasks. There will be 7 tasks which require the cost involvement. So for the first task is analyzing the current system. This task require 10 hours in 5 days. For the resource, we will need 1 business analyst. The hourly rate will be RM30, which will be estimated to be 300 ringgit. For the planning the project, this task will need 38 hours in 30 days. For the resource, we will need 1 project manager. The hourly rate will be RM55, and the estimated will be RM2090 ringgit. For purchasing the server, the resources we will need is 1 server, and the estimated budget for the 1 server will be 6,000 ringgit. For re-enhancing the new system, this task will need 750 hours in 250 days. For the resources, we will need 3 senior programmers. The hourly rate will be RM50, which is estimated to be RM112,500 ringgit. For testing the system, this task will need 36 hours in 18 days. For the resource, we will need 2 testers. The hourly rate will be RM30, which is estimated to be RM2,160 ringgit. For managing the project, this task will need 280 hours in 273 days. For the resources we will need is 1 project manager. The hourly rate will be RM55, which is estimated to be 154K. So in total, the hour needed will need is 1,114 hours. The total duration will be 303 days. This is because managing the project is included in the overall task. So managing the project is throughout the whole project. And the total estimated budget will be 138,450K. So that's all for me. Thank you for listening.
Right, thank you, Nathan. A bit rush, Nathan. You have plenty of time. No need to talk too fast. Thanks again, this group. Next group, ready?
I'll go next. So good morning to good morning to Miss and everyone. Today I'm going to represent our group to present on the second part of our software project management assignment. So our group consists of me, Ian, and Ivan. So I will first briefly talk about our project background. So we will be focusing on the business operation of a contract electrical appliances services and repair company, which operates within the Malaysian local environment. So the company we are working on is Hong Seng Builders and Construction Sendirian Berhad, which is a local electrical contracting company, which is based in West Malaysia. So due to the pandemic, their current inquiry system became difficult to operate. So we will be making an improvement by upgrading the current business processes by computerizing the inquiry system to add more business values and provide better quality service to the client. So next is the stakeholders. So we have 3 stakeholders. The first stakeholders is the client. So in the new modified system, the client should be able to submit inquiries, check the status of the inquiries, communicate with the company through a chat room, and be able to pay through an e-payment method. Next is the company employee or staff. So the staff will be able to communicate back to the client through the chat room and be able to approve or decline the client's inquiry. Then the third stakeholders is the company upper levels. So the upper levels should be able to generate the inquiry reports in the modified system. So next is the assumption, dependency, and the constraints. So there are a total of 6 assumptions for this project. So we first assume that the company has not currently implemented any virtual payments, and we assume that the technology involved or used by the company and clients is sufficient and advanced, such as the devices, servers, and network connections. Then we also assume that the current average time gap for the client to get a response from the company is around 30 minutes. We also assume that the reports currently is not computer generated and is created by the employee. So there will be some data inaccuracies and mistake made by the employee. And then we also assume that there are no resource limitations and all the resources involved are experienced and specialized in the development field. Lastly, we assume that the system requirements are all well defined and the development method and technique implemented are well understood by the developers and testers. So next is dependency. So we are currently using the waterfall model. So all the phases in our project will be running in sequence. So here is a dependency matrix. As you can see, all the phases will only start when the previous phase has complete. So it will be running in sequence until the last phase. Next is the constraint. So for the constraint of our project, first is the allocated budget is 200,000 ringgit. Second constraint is that the project should be completed by January 2023. And lastly, the developer involved will be working together to complete a single task at a time. I will now move on to the organization and governance. So this is our project organization chart. So the project manager will be the person in charge and to plan and monitor the whole project. Then a project sponsor will assist the project manager to provide accountability and support to the project manager. So under the project manager, there is a project development team consisting of 2 developer, which is responsible for designing, developing, and deploying the system, and a tester who will be responsible in testing and ensuring the quality of the system development and deployment. So next is the communication plan. So first is the kickoff meeting for project initiation. So a meeting will be held with the project team, project sponsor, and stakeholders, where the project manager will introduce the project and set the project expectations. So next is the task progress update, which will be done daily by the team, by the project team through applications such as Team Gantt or email to update the project manager on the daily progress. Next is the project team meeting. It is a weekly meeting with the project team, project sponsor, and project manager to report on the project status. Next is the stakeholder update, which is a bi-weekly meeting between the stakeholders and project manager to update the stakeholders on the current project status. Next, project milestone review. It is a meeting that will be held by each milestone of phase with the project team, project sponsor, and project manager to present on the deliverables and get feedbacks and discuss on the next milestone or phase. Lastly is the postmortem meeting, which will only be held after the project is completed with all the project team, project sponsor, stakeholders, and project manager to assess the overall project success and discuss any future improvement for the system. So next will be the project control. So first we have the project resource and cost. So the first resource is the project manager, which the project manager will be working on the project from the start till the end of the project. The project will start in 2022 and end within the year 2022. So the project manager will start on the 3rd January till the 26th August. And the project manager will be paid 48 ringgit per hour. So next, the project sponsor will be working from the start to the end of the project as well, from 3rd January till 26th August. And the project sponsor will be paid 28 ringgit per hour. Next is developer. So there will be 2 developers who will be working in the design, development, and deployment phase, which will start on 28 February till 26th August. So each developer will be paid 27 ringgit per hour. Lastly is the tester. So tester will only work in the testing phase. So he will start on the 6th June till 26th July. And they will be paid 17 ringgit per hour. So next is the working time and project schedule. So the working time will be 8 hours from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the working days will be 5 days per week, and we will not be factoring in the public holidays. And next there will be 4 average working weeks in a month. So this is the project schedule. So in the first phase, requirement and planning, it will take 2 months. The second phase, design, will take 2 months. The third phase, coding and implementation, will take 2 months. And the fourth phase, integration and testing, will also take 2 months. And lastly, the deployment phase. The fifth phase will take 1 month. So in total, there will be 9 months from the 3rd January 2022 till 26 August 2022. Lastly is the cost involvement. So for the first phase, requirements and planning, the allocated budget for this phase is 30,000 ringgit. For the second phase, design, we have a 45,000 ringgit. Third phase, coding and implementation, we have a 45,000 ringgit allocated budget. The fourth phase, integration and testing, we have a 50,000 ringgit. And the last deployment phase, we have a 30,000 ringgit. So in total, all the allocated budget for the whole project will we have a 200,000 ringgit. So that is all from me. Thank you.
Good, well done. Next group, we have one more group number 5.
Miss, can I start now?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Okay. Good morning to everyone. Today I will present for our software project management part 2 for this week. So I will present. So first we talk about the background itself. With the background itself, we choose for recap. We choose Yayasan Food Bank Malaysia. Yayasan Food Bank Malaysia. It's a food bank organization that has already established since 2019. Why we need to implement a new system towards this organization? First, it's efficiency. First is efficient. Mainly Yayasan Food Bank Malaysia using manual paper-based inventory management system, which even though the current system that they are using doesn't have any problem, but as the organization grow bigger and bigger, it can cause a lot of problem, and also it also affect the efficiency of the inventory management itself, which lead to second reason, low data integrity. As the current system using paper-based inventory management system, the system it's using human labor to write or slash listed the paper listed any inventory on ongoing and ingoing within the warehouse itself, which is as you know as the organization grow, getting bigger and bigger, and they also still using human written system. It will prone to mistake and inaccuracy towards the system itself, make it hard to keep track, and also it can cause any losses towards a specific data itself. So the second will be the stakeholder, which consists of project sponsor, project manager, project team, and project project team and end user. The project sponsor will be the CEO, the COO, the CFO itself. For the project team will consist of software engineer, UI or UX designer, QA tester. For the end user, there will be the warehouse coordinator and warehouse crew. Firstly, I will talk about the project sponsor. Project sponsor will be providing guidance that they needed to inform towards the project manager what they need, what they really want to insight towards the system, it's the new system itself, which is the new inventory management system. And they will also providing funding towards the project itself. For the project manager, it will he or she will plan schedule and cost for the project itself, and he or she also will examine the give a task progression towards the team, towards each team member, and also give each task towards them. For the project team, they will develop, test, and deploy the product itself before releasing towards the client itself. So the end user will become the self-volunteer to test the new system after releasing, and we will be given the feedback towards the project team to for further improvement. So we continue to assumption, dependency, and constraint. For now I will present the assumptions. So we consist of 4. So the first one is the project team has many experience in developing a similar system. The second, where we consider if the whole project team have a lot of experience in developing a similar system, which they already do or involved in this system development, this project. For the second part, the second one is no major change will be introduced during the development of the system, which we consider as the stakeholder have already given the final decision without any further changes, as we will be using the software process model, which is a waterfall model, and it will be hard to us to make some changes towards the system itself. So the third is all the end user already have the necessary hardware, such as PC or laptop, to use the new system, which we assume that the end user have their own PC or laptop to use the new system itself without using any company devices. They already have their own they can use their own devices to access this new system. So the fourth part, the final part, will be the maintenance cost is not included in the project cost estimation, as it is an uncertainty. We consider as uncertainty that the project uncertainty what maintenance, what problem will be happen in the future. So we didn't include it in a project cost estimation. Dependency. So we're using prediction diagram method, which is the finish to start. So the task and the software design is depending on the task requirement definition to finish first before it can start. Next, the implementation is dependent on the system and software design to finish before it started. Similar the testing and the validation. The validation task and implementation task has a finish to start relationship between them, whereby testing and validation will be start only when implementation is complete. In the same way, the deployment task cannot begin until the testing and validation task is finished first. Lastly, operation and maintenance task is dependent on deployment to finish before it start. So the constraint will consist of two. The cost will be the budget of the project will be 300,000 ringgit, and the time for the completion for this project will be 30 March 2023. So I will continue towards organization and governance. So this is our project organization hierarchy, which consists of which is from the top to bottom. For the top will be the project sponsor, and it will continue to project manager, and towards that for the project manager, he or she will handle senior QA tester, senior software engineer, and UI/UX or UX designer to maintain to know the progression, also to notify progression of each team member task within the time schedule that they already set it, and also they want to ensure the quality, and also they want to meet the requirement that match towards the client itself. So I will continue. Next. Next, I will be a communication plan. So communication plan will be we have 6 meetings. So the first one is kickoff meeting. It will start at the first beginning of the project, and the method will be planning meeting. Planning meeting towards to plan what the project sponsor and stakeholder really, and they will discuss project stakeholder, sponsor, and team to discuss what they want in the system itself. The second one will be the project team meeting. So the frequency for the meeting will be weekly, and we will also the same planning meeting only for project team, as they already know the requirement. So the only project manager need to given tasks and telling them what real constraint that they needed, what constraint they know in this project, which is the time and the cost itself. So the next will be the task progress update. The frequency of it will be daily. So to make sure that the project project team will have done doing their daily progression and will share to the project manager itself to notify about their progression towards toward their task itself. So the next will be the project status report. It will be held weekly also, weekly. So so it will as a project status meeting. It will it will consider as to notify or to update the project stakeholder and the project sponsor about the progression and the progression towards the project manager, sorry, towards the update of the project itself. So they will know the progression itself and update what they can see half of it, such as the half prototype what they already included itself. So the next one will be milestone review. So it will held at project milestone. So the method will be review meeting to review the phases of each step, each stages based on the dependency. So they will know what tasks they need to do and what they can. You also receive the feedback from the project team and project sponsor what they want or progression of their task to the and decided to the next step, next phases, to ensure they can achieve their ultimate goal, which is to release the new inventory management system to the organization itself, and you can use it. So the last one will be postmortem meeting. It will be held at end of the project. Also, the method will be retrospective meeting. It will consist of project sponsor, stakeholder, and project team. So project manager will held this meeting after the releasing of the product of the system itself, and they will discuss what they can improve in the further project, what mistake they can identify within the during and within the development itself. So so I will continue work breakdown structure. So the project, so it will consist of requirement definition. The first one is based on the dependency. So the first one, requirement definition. So we need to know the 1.1 stakeholder interview. We need to interview, analyze existing document, warehouse on-site observation, and kickoff meeting. This part is considered as a planning phase, planning phases for to know the stakeholder requirement within the project and the cost for the project and the time that they wanted to complete within in this project itself. So the second one is 2.0 system and software design. We will consider architectural design, interface design, database design, stakeholder approval. This one is only design and designing a system that they can visualize that what the system will be operate itself, and also it will send to the stakeholder stakeholder approval to approve this kind of flow itself. The third is the 0.3 will be implementation, and this phase it will be focusing on coding and unit testing the new system itself. And 4.0 testing during this testing phase, it's similar to this after implementation, they were more further testing towards the system to ensure the quality of the system itself and the functionality reach the functionality that they wanted, or you can say that the expectation that they really wanted in this new system. So the 5.0 operation and maintenance. So it's just a deployment towards the deployment the system to the organization to any news, and it also consists of maintenance if any occurrence that bugs or functional that does not operate well from expected from the user from the developer, and the user found out the problem itself, the problem unknown problem from the user which is the end user from the system itself. So I will focusing the project control. So the first will be the schedule control. The first task will be, this is just based on for the schedule control. This is just based on the dependency that will be implemented. So the first task will be project requirement. The resources will be consist of project manager, senior software engineer. The date will be 3 January 2022 until the 14th January 2022. Duration will be 10. The system and the software design will be phases. This will be consist of project manager, software, senior software engineer, and designer. So the duration will be 17 January 2022 and 4 February 2022, and the duration will be 15. So the implemented for the next task is implementation. Project manager, it will consist of project manager, senior software engineer, and his teammate, software engineer 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the date will be 7 February 2022 until 18 March of 2022, and the duration will be 30 days. The next task is testing. It will consist of project manager, senior QA tester, and QA tester. So it will start from 21 March 2022 until 8 April 2022, and the duration for this task will be 15 days. So the next is deployment. It will consist of project manager, senior software engineer, and software engineer 1. So the duration will be 11 April 2022 until 6 May of 2022. The duration will be 20 days. And the last task will be operation and maintenance. It's just subject to any availability of resources that they need to maintain in the new system. The duration will be 9 May of 2022 until 7 May 2027. So the duration will be 1,305 days. So the total estimation duration for this schedule control will be 1,395 days. So it will. So the worker itself, which is the project team, will be work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. It will from Monday to Tuesday itself. Next is cost control. So we will be focusing human resource pay rate, not mainly, but the first one will be human resource pay rate. So it will consist of, based on the operation and governancy, we will be based on governancy. The project manager will be hourly rate will be 50 ringgit, and daily which is a daily rate for 8 hours a day will be 400. The design UX and UI designer, the hourly rate will be 30 ringgit, and the daily rate will be 240 ringgit. The senior software engineer will be hourly rate will be 40 ringgit. For the daily rate, which is the which all of it will be in a week, will be 320. Software engineer one, hourly rate will be 25 ringgit. The daily rate will be 200. The software engineering first until the fourth will be the same. And the senior QA tester hourly rate will be 35 ringgit until 280. For the daily rate will be 280 ringgit. The QS tester, the hourly rate will be 20, but and the daily rate will be 160 ringgit. Next is human resource cost. It's based on schedule cost. So the first requirement definition, it will cost 7,200 based on the project manager and software engineer. So it will be 700 and 720, and we multiply by the 10 working days, and we will be cost the 7,200. System second task will be system and software design. So the cost will be 40,400 ringgit. Implementation, the working day will be 30, and it will cost 45,600 ringgit. The testing, the working day will be 15 days. The cost will be 12,000 ringgit and 12,600 ringgit. Sorry, just now. The last one will be deployment. The working day will be 20 days. The cost will be 18,400 ringgit. So the total estimate cost for human resource cost will be 98,200 ringgit. So for the cloud service cost will be for this system will be cloud. We will be using Google Cloud Platform. The first service is using the computer engine itself, and the specification already listed itself, and the pricing will be monthly will be 420 ringgit 95 cents per month. The next service will be cloud storage. So we'll be using a cloud archive store, and will be archive storage to store inventory data inside. So the size will be 500 GB, 512 GB. So the monthly payment will be 30 ringgit and 58 cents. The total estimation, and for the both services that I mentioned, the total estimation cost will be 434 ringgit and 17 cents. So the operation, this part is only focusing on operation and maintenance based on the dependency that I mentioned. So will be taken 5 years divided by 16 months. So we multiply by the total estimation cost, which is the 434 ringgit 70 cents, multiplied by the 16 months itself. So it will be 26,050 ringgit and 20 cents. So the total cost estimation based on it, which is human resource cost plus cloud service cost, which is the 98,000 ringgit and 98,200 ringgit plus 26,050 and 20 cents, and it will equal to 124,000 ringgit. 124,250 50 ringgit 20 cent, which is can be considered as a one, which we can estimate as 125 ringgit duration of our budget, of the budget itself that they needed to pay, which is based on our constraint, which is a 300,000 ringgit, which is it's a great consider that we have the budget, other budget to make some improvement to make some improvement towards the system itself. So this is my presentation. So thank you.
A good try, Daniel. Let's take a short toilet break, 5 minutes. We come back in 5 minutes time. Please be ready tutorial solution. Everyone here?
Aye.
Right, please be ready. Tutorial 3. We'll go through all your answers from question 1, 3, 4, and 5. Question 1 is about the reasons. Yeah, acceptable reason. No answer yet, still the same. So question number 1 here, tutorial 3. Why organizations should comply to 9001 standards? So basically this one, you just need to list out the importance of ISO 9001. So we come back to here. Question number 5. Okay, question number 3. Number 3, straightforward. Number 3 should be no problem. Okay, maybe it started question 1. Since we have about 20 minutes. Question number 1, anything you want to ask on the question number 1? I don't think I managed to go through, check question by question to all of you. If you do have a question, you may just ask. Number 1, discuss 3 reasons why organizations should comply ISO 9001. So a lot of justification, your answer can be look for, let's say, this standard allows organizations to improve the efficiency of a processes so that all their processes can be well tailored, ensure that they meet the benchmark. For continuous improvement, for this one, organize your processes, improve the organization workflow, organizing all processes. All these are included here. Any question from you all? Number 1? No question mean I will proceed, yeah?
Miss, that question one, as long as anything that say about the importance of ISO, like anything benefit can get from it, as long I follow the ISO standard.
As long as follow, yeah. Why company need to comply this? Should comply to this. What's the reason why they need to follow these standards? So a lot of many reasons can be.
Oh, okay.
Okay, question number 2. Number 3, as discussed yesterday, will the website recommend 2 actions? So in the website itself, there are in total 4 actions. Everybody did this one? This one straightforward, but please don't copy and paste from the website. This question is just a top up from our lecture notes. Lecture notes, we have a very brief 1 slides, culture, quality, introduction. So to give you some more idea on this, so we introduce you an article here. Yeah, rephrase. Question number 2. Hang on, yeah, I saw your message here. Question 2. Question 2 is about suggest 1 software quality attribute must be relevant to the BIM scope project. Yeah, you need to justify your answer based on, you justify your answer why the suggested quality attribute is important to them throughout their processes. What is a problem of the current ordering and inventory processes? They don't have any system before. But after applying the system, a lot of changes, a lot of improvement can be done. Then which quality attribute is important here to be measured? So the suggested example yesterday, I talked about the performance efficiency. This one, please refer Appendix 3.1. There are many examples there. Of course, not limited to appendix. If you do have other attributes, you can list it down. As long as you manage to justify your answer. You can paste your answer here in the chat box if you are not so sure whether your answer correct or not. Next one, number 3. Yeah, already discussed yesterday. Find out 2 actions from the article. This is just top up your knowledge. Explain accordingly. Question number 4. Refer to the case study again. Propose 2 product standard. So example given in the lecture note, but without further explanation. That's why you all need to do more research. This course is about further improvement. Do more reading. Do more research, do more reading. Suggest 2 product standard which is suitable to this company. Give reason why that product standard is as what you suggested. What is it here? No need raise hand at the moment unless you have questions. Sometimes I also confuse. Raise hand means you hear me clearly, or if you do have question, you immediately type in the chat box here. Yeah. Raise hand, not sure whether maybe you accidentally click raise hand. Yeah. If you have questions, type in the chat box. This one 9 o'clock. All right. Question number 4. Any of you? Yesterday, question number 4. Right? Yeah. Always highlight the keyword so easy for us. Resources, yes. Can? Yeah. As I mentioned yesterday, please add on where did you get all this. Yeah, put in the resources. So it's about design review. So the resource is correct. Ensuring design solution met project requirement. Then determine whether. All right, this is a good answer because not only explain what is this about, but do relate it how it helped the company. This is what we call related to the case study. So software requirement specification, definition is no problem. Yeah, that one you can find anyway. So it can help BIM scope project ensure that user clearly define, understand all members project team before development with, yes, very good. This is the main purpose why it has to make the specification requirement very clear at the beginning of the project. Good answer. You can refer this. I believe some other students also have a very good answer, but I'm not managed to go through one by one. Let's find one more here. Number 4. Necessary information and tasks. Okay, I would prefer if you can put it down necessary information something too general. If they will be good if you can list out what are the examples of necessary information. Okay, good. Needed, ensure, meet the user requirement. Yeah, this is the major purpose. This is the main purpose for requirement. Again, when similar question in the FOA, please look at the marks allocation. Yeah, how many marks assigned for each question? After that, you decide how much should be your content. What is the volume of your content? Volume and quality, of course. Next one, we look at the question number 5. 2 advantages. Clean room, software development. Their point form in our notes, lower numbers of errors, lower costs, project on a schedule, as well software of higher quality. So we look at here. So lower number of errors would require the clerk long time compile report where they may error occurring. Therefore, what is the aim? The aim here is to avoid defect rather than detect or repair them. This is the aim of a clean room, so you can add it on here in your first paragraph. Higher quality. Many changes being code will be able to take order from. Therefore, better quality system. Okay, how this one, what's the advantages of using clean room technique? We know advantage is provide higher quality, but how? There is a point in the slide that I mentioned yesterday in clean room techniques. The complex system will broken down to into small components, and each component has only one entry and one exit point. So it means we'll make the testing more easier and more precise. That's a key item in a clean room technique. So you can add on under high quality here. Okay, I will find one more before we dismiss for today. Okay, still on the way, Wong. Okay, this will make because of this will make the testing easier because you can test it out component by component. Productivity contain less error, require less time to debug and rework. Less error in a clean room using clean room technique, less error occur because they are using, remember there are two ways, one of it using incremental development approach. Please refer back to your lecture notes. Clean room, one of the approach is incremental development. Yeah, incremental development means they will develop a little bit first, and then what is it? Slowly increase the scope, the coverage of the system. So if anything stuck or problem occur in the previous stage, they will settle first before they go to another. So that's incremental development. So this is a good approach used to reduce or minimize the number of errors occur, especially if they didn't do incremental approach, a big error might occur at the end of the process. So you can add on incremental development approach here under minimize error. All right, I think I should stop here for today. I have a back-to-back class at 11 o'clock. Anything you all want to ask before we dismiss for today?
Miss, do we have a consultation session like last week with you?
You mean Saturday?
Yeah, like last week. Do we
I
have?
don't think so. This I don't have. I need to settle exam paper.
Oh, okay.
Any more questions? Like in the slide. Look at my time availability. Unless there's any big problem. But so far I didn't see any big issue there. If I need detail, I need to spend time go through the slide again. Yeah. Let me settle my work first, yeah. Priority, yeah. Or else, yeah, I need to settle my responsibility, my task assigned first. Yeah. Definitely once you already decided your process model, then you definitely can continue. No need wait for me. Whatever you plan in a process model, you apply to your Microsoft project. Tally is in line, conform with what you are suggested, cannot be run away. What you are suggested, then you continue, assign this part. This one, So you have done. So you have done all this, and then next you will do this. Yeah? If you already have the process, then you assign on it, set up and then I saw all the groups has your duration already, right? You already have the duration, then you plot it to your Microsoft project. Yeah, no problem at all. So all these, some of it with the cost, some more you can place in. This is the one that you need to do next week. If you want go to in detail, you can also refer to the practical. Yeah, practical question. So for the coming weeks, software model, activity, appropriate start and finish time. Some of the group already mentioned this, but now this round next week, you show it in your charts. Yeah. So when you show it in your chart, it means whatever you plan, you do align, conform with your Gantt chart. What else here? You need to set, work day, work hours. You have your time frame. If public holiday, you have to exclude it. Task name, duration, deadline, milestone. Skill, human resource. This one, as mentioned, a part human resource management selection process, create a weighted scoring model. Evaluate candidates for project manager and team member position. Try to think of it, how you want to do this. Okay, this one, some of you already done. Resources scheduling, calendar. This one already, all in already. Yeah, this one, please also do some further explore. What kind of what type of reports? What type of reports can be generated by your Microsoft project? I think this one, the instruction very clear. The report here, identify specific report that will communicate information about the project to different stakeholders. Means what kind of report is suitable to be shown, to be present to different stakeholders. Think of it. Okay, you are doing your project, now you think of it, what type of report where they might interested on. So prepare about 2-3 reports. Report might show graph, show graph and then a little bit brief description. No need write like essay, no need. Okay, anything? Any more? So week 4, student, you cover this. After my lesson, we'll continue with your individual tasks already. Yeah, we are doing good in our progress. Everything aligned with our plan here. Any more other question? You all may form your own discussion group. Discuss with the group member roughly what you want to place in. Highlight all those keywords and then discuss how you want to not say design, how you want to put in your this one, resource management, project planning. There's a title. 1 minute. If no question, we will dismiss for today. No question so far. Yeah, you have to work on it first. Belum buat, belum tahu. You have to do it first. Yeah, you all start it first. Please do a lot of research. This is, yeah, you see, look, in our question, in our assignment question here, work as a team. Don't work individually. Work as a team. Carry out necessary research. You need to do more reading. What's happening in the real world? How they do it. Yeah, how they do it. We know how to use Microsoft Project. Yeah, we learn how to use Microsoft Project. But in the real world, how many they might present their resources different patterns. Some, not say different pattern, but the way the sequences, processes, adjustment, how they want to plot it. Go and find do research. And do more reading. There are plenty of resources online. Get some idea how they do it. Is it suitable? After you get, this one looks cleaner, looks clean and clear. And then second question you ask, does it suitable to be applied to your project? Or perhaps you need to make a little bit adjustment so that it is a best fit to your project. All right, that's all from me today, 11 o'clock. Thank you, everyone. See you next class.